The Bills take on the Patriots this weekend. It's the first. They're going to play them twice in 3 weeks, which is frightening. I don't love that. I mean, maybe it'll shore up the highest pick possible for the Patriots. You've got those games sandwiching a Chargers matchup at home, which is just going to be depressing as holy hell. But the comparisons that came up early this year are now rearing its head this week as well. And that is the comparisons between Drake Maye and Josh Allen. We heard it a little bit earlier this year. And there are obviously some things that Allen has that Drake Maye probably won't ever have. But the more that we've seen Drake Maye develop, I think the closer you've seen this comparison. In fact, Tommy Curran, who is on the Patriots beat, sees a lot of similarities between Drake Maye and Josh Allen.
Reach the level or even exceed the level of Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's improvement has been so drastic from his first year. But I'll say this. I think Drake Maye's starting at a higher point than Josh Allen was. He's not faster. He's not bigger. But the plays that Drake Maye is making this year and the lack of just utter stupidity that Josh Allen would routinely exhibit, even into 2021, was knee-buckling. And it's kind of gone away. And Mayo talked about that today, too. So can Maye be in the class? I'm not going to go into he can be better. Maye could probably be a top 5, top 8 quarterback. And he used to say the same thing about Mac Jones, but you'd stop around 12. Best.
That's a real good point at the end there. You know, we've heard the comparisons of Drake Maye and Mac Jones in their rookie years, and like, well, Mac Jones made it to the Pro Bowl. Like, vastly different scenario. First off, vastly different team that was around Mac Jones. They had an elite defense, a top 5 defense, a damn good offensive line, and an actual running game versus what they have right now. And something at receiver, you know, not a lot, but a younger, less injured Kendrick Bourne, a younger Hunter Henry, a guy they should have never let go in Jacoby Myers. They had all those guys. But the other thing was, we knew Mac's ceiling was not really high. Like, there was no world where he was going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. It was kind of that last gasp of, can you have a good NFL team, a competitor, without that? And we found out that not only was Mac not getting that high, but that's probably not true. That you probably can't have a Super Bowl contending team that has a quarterback that's not that good. Gone are the days of Rex Grossman playing in the Super Bowl. Okay, long gone are those days. Or Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick, even if we look back on their careers. But obviously Cam won the MVP that year. Now, the thing I disagree with Curran in there is he's talking about Josh Allen can get a little bit wonky. Sometimes looks like he's playing for the other team, throws some real brain dead decision balls that you're like, what the hell was that? He said really up through 2021. I would argue up through 2023. There were some games last year where you're like, Josh Allen is losing this game for his team. Or 2022. Sure. Absolutely. Like, and I remember saying that about him last year. It's like, this guy is still elite, but there are just some times where you're like, what team is he playing for? Like, what is this guy thinking? And this year, whether it's Haley Steinfeld or not, I mean, he has finally become that quarterback. And I say finally, I mean, this is year 6 or 7 in the league. He's been a pretty damn good quarterback the last 4 years. And now he's playing at an MVP level. For me, he's running away with the MVP this year. And finally, Buffalo is realizing, you know, what this potential was for taking a chance on a kid out of Wyoming. You know, the same draft that Patrick Mahomes was, I think. So it was definitely a chance that they took, and it's hit pretty well. He's going to be the MVP this year. And when you compare him to a kid like Drake Maye, that's going to get the Patriots fans really excited and think that maybe he can be an MVP in the future. But one of the things Curran talked about in there is the floor and where these guys are starting at. Because you'll remember, we were saying about Josh Allen going into that draft, boy, this kid's got a ton of potential, but he is a project. Bad footwork, tries to do too much with his legs, huge arm, misses a lot of throws, but can make up for it with some spectacular throws because of his arm strength, relies a bit too much on it, doesn't read defenses all that much. All the same stuff all the same stuff we were saying about Drake Maye 8-9 months ago, leading up into the draft. Same stuff. And now, it took a while. 6 years later, Josh Allen's an MVP. And Drake Maye, you want to talk about that floor, Drake Maye is having a better year in his rookie year than Josh Allen did. Looking at it side by side, it's not exactly apples to apples because Allen played more games than Drake has played so far. If they don't shut down Maye, which could happen, he'll end up playing 13 versus Allen's 12. But the completion percentage, it's not even close. I mean, Josh Allen had a tough time throwing the ball into the ocean from a boat his rookie year. 52% completion percentage. Drake Maye right at about 69%. That's a huge difference. And neither team was that good. That Buffalo team was not dreadful, but not very good. And they didn't have a great complement of receivers, but Drake Maye's got the worst receiver room in the league. Passing yards, Josh Allen, 2-game head start. He's only about less than 200, about 175 above Drake Maye right now. Passing yards per attempt's around even. Passing yards per game is an advantage to Maye. It's only 189 a game, but Allen was only 172. He's already thrown for more touchdowns than Allen did in his rookie year, and he's thrown less interceptions. Again, a couple game lead on that. His quarterback rating by Pro Football Reference is a wild 20 points higher for Drake Maye in his rookie season than Josh Allen in his. And obviously, Allen ran the ball a lot more, had more rushing touchdowns, more rushing yards. But your career does not get made in your rookie season. And Josh Allen is arguably the best example of that, to see how far you can come. I mean, Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his rookie year. But the floor for Drake Maye is already much higher than Josh Allen's. And does that mean he's going to win the MVP? I don't know. But he could become Josh Allen quicker than Josh Allen became Josh Allen. And that's what should have you really excited as Patriots fans. And looking back on it, by the time Buffalo drafted Allen, they were starting to kind of move in the right direction. They had the right pieces in place from a front office personnel standpoint, which the Patriots obviously don't have right now. Buffalo was still transitioning that roster and trying to get the pieces to put a roster together for Josh Allen, but they had the people in place behind the scenes to build a winner around a rookie quarterback. The Patriots, I don't think, have either of those things. They don't have the roster like Buffalo didn't, and I don't think they have the front office personnel / coaching staff, behind the scenes people, to really start building around a rookie quarterback pretty quickly. Because you'll remember in 2019, the Patriots needed that goal line stand in December. Actually, it was 5 years ago tomorrow, December 21st. They had a goal line stand against Buffalo late in the season to clinch the AFC East, because Buffalo was very much still in that contention. So that was year 2 of Josh Allen. I just doubt that Drake Maye and the Patriots are going to be up at Orchard Park next year playing a game in late December where they could knock off the Bills for the AFC East Championship, which they've won for the 5th or 6th year in a row. They clinched it on, I think, December 1st. I don't think that's going to happen, but this is very promising to Patriots fans that the floor for Drake Maye is already higher than it was for Josh Allen back in 2018, because there were plenty of people laughing at that comparison a few weeks into Drake Maye's starting career. You know, I mean, this comparison started coming up in like early November. Drake Maye had started like 3 games. And people were like, you've got to be kidding. Seriously? Now they're another quarterback in New England. We're just going to instantly compare him to Josh Allen. Hey, it beats comparing him to Tom Brady, which is what we all did with Mac Jones. But that Brady scenario and that Mac Jones scenario, team-wise, coaching-wise, context-wise, much different from the context in which Drake Maye has started, which is much more closely related to the context in which Josh Allen started. So people aren't thinking it's a crazy comparison now, and they shouldn't. We're not going to prove anything on Sunday necessarily. Like if Drake Maye goes, 19 of 25 for 202 yards 1 touchdown, no picks. That's a pretty solid Drake Maye day with this roster. But if they lose 37-34 and Drake Maye throws 4 touchdowns, then yeah, maybe we can drink the Kool-Aid a little bit. But it all goes back to what the teams can build around Drake Maye, because I think Buffalo's been one of the most impressive organizations of the last half decade, from getting it wrong for 25 years, really, to then completely getting it right and building it around this kid. It was a pretty impressive thing to see. The Patriots got it right for 25 years, and they might be in the midst of a couple of decades of getting it wrong. And it will be quite telling to see how they work with Drake Maye, and hopefully it's something similar to the way that Buffalo built around Josh Allen.
We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter here for some more outrageous Boston sports takes coming to you every weekday at noon Eastern time. And then after that, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are Rogue Media Sports.